Good afternoon, church. Pastor Nick here, Thursday afternoon. Just wanted to give you a bit of a roadmap forward for how we as a church are going to move forward, how we're looking that we can, as a church, open up again to our community. Right now, we're still probably 2 months away before, at least, if not more, before we can actually come on back together in total numbers. But as of the following week, from not this Sunday, but the one after, we can probably have 10 people meet together in church. Now, I'm thinking that might mean we'll have a few more people here to do worship. We will be able to have live worship instead of our pre-recorded worship, which has been fantastic. And the other aspect of that might be that in another month, in June, we can have 20 people. I'm thinking that once we can have 10 people here, our prayer meetings can return to being in our building. The Tuesday afternoon prayer meeting would only have about 8 to 10 people. And so I'm looking forward to having that 8 to 10 people here. We'll have to keep our distance. We'll have to make sure that the hygiene is practiced and social distancing. But I really am looking forward to a few people being able to come together and gather together again. The other thing is, I think we could also do house churches. And I want to encourage as many of you that struggle with technology to maybe visit a family or someone who can host you. Only 5 people can visit. I believe it's 5 people visiting, because in my family we have 6 people in my house, and we can't actually go out or kick me out of the house. Well, it wouldn't be very fair on me, and I wouldn't do it to anyone else. Let me show you a little bit of a roadmap forward, and I'll talk about it as I go. Just excuse me while I play with my computer here and get it working. But I wanted to show you this image, and then we'll talk it through. There we are. So while I'm talking to you, let me just say, 18th of May, 10 people are able to gather in an outdoor or an indoor gathering. So our church can have prayer meetings or groups, but you can't do house churches in the full numbers like we've done previously, or home groups. Only 5 people can visit a house. It might mean we have to have more meetings more often, and that's okay. If you want to meet together, I want to let you do that with wisdom. Make sure you practice good social distancing, make sure you practice the proper hygiene, washing your hands, and all those things. Come the 15th of June, we'll be able to look at having 20 people. That could be indoor or outdoor gatherings. And it'll probably be a little bit cold here in Tasmania to be outdoor by the 15th of June, so I don't think we want to consider that one. They will review the household numbers, and if we have a few more people that can visit, then our house groups, our house church groups, home groups, can meet en masse. By the 13th of July, the government have said they still don't know exactly how many numbers that will be. That will be determined by the public health officer, and that could possibly be 50 people or 100 people. At that point, it might be possible for us to have a couple of limited church services, and we might have to do more services to allow people to come, and hear from me in a little while as to what that might mean. August, well, that's an unknown, but we have a trajectory that seems to be opening up more and more. So we're not quite sure, but maybe by August, September, we might be able to come back to how we've done things in the meantime, how we've done them previously. But in the meantime, let's have a look at this. And I want you to have a look at the how, the when, the where, and in what way we will be able to meet and what way we'll keep online church going. I think it's very important that we continue with our online church. Because see, church online is providing us with some different options. And in the future, while I do live broadcasts right now or live streaming, we might consider pre-recorded or a simultaneous live stream of our broadcast or of our church service. That will allow people who are shut in or people who are members of the church that have moved away, that it's a bit too far to travel here, or others who maybe perhaps have, for illness sake or for holiday sake, can't be with us that week, to join us in church online. So people are sick, people are on holidays. It's been wonderful because while we've been doing church online, we've had a number of people who've connected with our church or reconnected with our church. They might be family members who've moved away, people who've are living in Hobart or Melbourne. I know that Tasha's family and my family are joining us from Brisbane and from Canberra. We have people joining us each week, and I guess doing church online is something that God has put us in, and we don't want to ignore what God has done. This is a space where we've had to learn and grow, and I want us to stay here. We had a grant given to us by the CVAT people, the Christian Community Churches of Victoria and Tasmania, that allowed us to buy some new equipment, and we have been getting better at doing this, and we want to keep on improving. And you should see the interest that our young people have had in this. This is a good ministry, a new ministry, and I would love to see not just young, but many people being involved in this and enjoying what we're doing. I think we could do different focuses of in terms of how we do this church online services. Young people don't like Facebook so much. Some of your older people don't like it either. Young people seem to hang out in Instagram and other platforms more than they do Facebook. And I thought maybe we could have some more lively worship music that's more their style, the kind of music that maybe you would run away from, but they run towards. And we could do that on the Instagram channel. Our Facebook page could probably be our own family style. And we could also have some hymn services where, if that's what the kind of music you want to listen to, we'll have the worship style that maybe meets your need. Again, I don't just want us to be doing the stuff that we like best. I want us to be able to reach out and accept that God has a plan for all people, and our church is a church of all generations. So I want us to broadcast live services that are family-based just as much as we do here in our church. In the meantime, we're going to have to continue doing church slightly differently than we've been doing it in the years gone past. So as of next weekend, I want us to, for those of us that are willing and those of us that can, to do church in homes. That could go on for the next 2 months. Maybe you can invite 5 visitors or people who don't handle technology very well, and continue to see the community aspect of our church go very well, because see, we're a church who love people. We love our people, we love those that are outside of our community and outside in Burnie. And this is the way that we can invite people who are both Christian and non-Christian to join us as we follow Christ. Don't forget, currently you can only have 5 visitors as of next weekend, that is. And in 1 month, that might improve to a few more. This Sunday, I'd love you to join us for worship and prayer. We're going to have our worship night, our worship and prayer night from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. We do that once a month on our 3rd Sunday of each month. And we do that, at the moment, we're having to do it online only. In the future, I want to continue that both online and in person. So even when we're back in our building, we'll continue the online aspects. So those of you that are a little bit cold or a little bit hard to get out at night, find it difficult to drive, or others that can't because they're further away, can join us for our prayer line. Don't forget also our Tuesday prayer meeting as of next week can actually start to happen back here in the building. We can have 10 people in our church. So I want to invite those regular prayers and people who struggle with technology to join us. If you're a little bit further away and it's going for a drive for 1 hour is a bit far out of the way in the middle of a week, I understand that. So why don't you join us on Zoom for our prayer time as well? So here's our roadmap. Church in our building, probably after more than 2 months. So in the meantime, I want you to keep going online from now, and we'll keep online going from here on through. So if you keep turning up on Sunday on our online, either via YouTube or Facebook, and from here on through, you could also join us if you're away on holiday or if you're unable to join us on any given Sunday. I'd love to invite people in the future, but in the meantime, join us in your home, but in the ongoing future, maybe while there's still a fear of the coronavirus or during cold and flu season when you're most susceptible, maybe you could join us in church online or church in home. Once we are limited to 50 people or 100 people, we may actually consider doing multiple services. And if we do the multiple services, I'll jump over one point here. You may have to book your place because we can't have 55 people turn up if we can only have 50 people here. So I'd love to have people say, I want to be at this service. And it might be a morning and a night service. We'll run the same sermon. We'll have the same worship songs, I think. It's a space where we might need to fill this, and we might change it a bit. But I'd love to invite you to join us once that's happening. You'll have to remember social distancing. You'll have to remember cleaning and hygiene. Very, very important, because we don't want people coming to church and going home sick. I don't want you to come to church and then end up going to hospital or worse. Friend, we have to look at how we run kids' church. For the meantime, we'll keep running kids' church online. But once we're back in the building, we might need to have the kids' church out there for the whole time to maximize the amount of people that can be in the building here. We love you all. We love all generations. We love having our children around here. It just hasn't been the same church when I come here on a Sunday and you're not here. I had a great pleasure of catching up with Mavis Stewart this morning. What a great joy. Caught up with Rob Rosendale this afternoon too. It's just great to catch people. And we can catch people one-on-ones or two-on-ones, but we still can't come back to the way we used to do it. God's put us in the new space. Let's grow. If we're having to change, why not embrace it? It's hard, but let's go with it. Let's see church grow, people get saved. And so I do ask you, once we do church, however we do church, keep sharing our Facebook page, keep sharing our YouTube, click and link and like it, and have watch parties, do all these things to make sure that more people get to hear about Jesus. This is not about our church being the biggest church in town. This is about people getting to know Jesus. Church, I love you. I'm praying for you. Keep praying for us. And keep praying for our church. Keep praying for our community. God has been good to us. God bless you. And allow me to stop sharing. I do hope that's been meaningful for you. I hope that if you have any questions, feel free to send me a message online or give me a call. I'd love to talk to you further. God loves you. I love you. I'm praying for you. God bless.